brutal here at the YCS Indianapolis, Indiana event. My goodness, with the world, please introduce yourself to the world and what did you do?
Marquise Smith. I day 2 lost in day 2 playing Vanquish.
Oh, spicy Vanquish, right?
Yes, sir.
My goodness. When did you decide to use this deck for the event, man?
Thought this deck was the best deck moving forward for the most of the decks that were available, Rescue Ace, Tier, and Vanadium, stuff like that. Most of those decks target, so this deck kind of doesn't lose. Most of my matchups were free. I was clearing most of my matchups within 4 to 5 minutes. I had a couple really rough games, which went to 40 minutes, but I still individually won those games.
Okay, sweet. Any shout outs before we begin?
Shout out to the whole VA, shout out to Lyric Burner, helped me max my deck list out. Shout out to Justin Franklin, he helped me build the initial deck list, and this is where we at. It was me and him all day, testing for like 2 to 3 weeks, and this is the deck list I came up with.
That's what's up, and quick self-plug right here. Guys, check out this limited edition Bortle Sword mat. I hope you are, yes. Hit me up.
Yeah, y'all come get the mat, man.
Okay. All right, well, without further ado, please show us the day 2 Vanquish Soul Boom.
All right, y'all want to be honest, I'm playing 3 Mad Love. Most people don't want to play 3 Mad Love. This card won me 5 games yesterday with the bounce and or the reduce. The bounce is really strong against most decks, including Rescue Ace, because if you bounce the Hydrant, it forces them to activate more cards to put the Hydrant back. That's not including if you have the trap set to just blow it back up. This card was really insane this weekend. The Pride and Joy was 3 raising. I did not resolve this card as much as I wanted to. It was mostly just this card and another card in that deck, which I'll show, which is one of the new cards from AGov. This card was still excellent when it came up. We played 2 Jiaolong. Most people don't want to play 2. They prefer 3. 3 is really bricky, as when we were testing. I never wanted to see this card in my opening hand as much as I wanted to. I would rather have the Raisin in hand and activate the Stake Your Soul to bring this out with another fire. This card was really good when it came out because I was essentially drawing 3 at the start of the turn. So these were my 3 initial starters. They were all good. 2 big boys. I'm playing 2 Caesar and 2 Borger. Borger, people also play 3 of this card, but in testing from like the last couple weeks, 2 and 2 is perfect because if you know how to resource manage, these cards never should be either banished or still in your deck. They should always be in your hand or always somewhere on the field. These cards were excellent. I had a game against Tier. The guy shuffled my trap back to the deck when I normal summon my Mad Love. While this card was on board, I burned him for 15, resolved the Mad Love, set the trap, and I killed him on his draw phase. This card was really insane. A card that most people don't agree with, I was playing 2 carry card. My round 1, my round 3, and my round 4, most of my opponents just played as if this card didn't exist. And one game, I actually, to go to game 3, I went to game 2, my opponent activated all his effects to stop me. I tributed for the carry card. He had no response, and I killed him for 8K.
Oh, man.
So this was really strong. Moving forward, I want to say this card is still good, but with Richmond coming up, I would like to say that I might cut this card to 1. Okay. I played 1 Panthera. I wanted to play 2 really badly, but 1 was perfect. I resolved this against a player in round 2. Round 2, he activated triple Gozen match, and I outed all 3. I outed 1 with this, 1 with the big guy, and 1 with a Fenrir. Double Bestials. This was just for Tier, Unchained, any rogue dark deck that everybody was on because of Horus. I didn't see any Horus matchups other than the Tier deck, but he never like resolved the Horus engine, but these were really strong. I got the resolve a card in the extra deck, Chaos Angel. This was really good. DD Crows was excellent. Every Rescue Ace matchup was a 2-0. Every Tier matchup was a 2-0. So these were self-explanatory. You have to play this card. Ash, self-explanatory just for those cards like Branded Fusion. Didn't see a branded deck all day. Didn't see a branded deck yesterday, but overall this card was really good. It was a good reveal target for Jiaolong, forcing my opponent to play a certain way. The Cashier, package, which everybody should be playing, is just 3 Fenrir, 1 Rise Heart. At one point in time, we were testing 3 Fenrir, 1 Rise Heart, and one of the Scare card, just so we can have a built-in negate, but it was a very bad brick. This card came out of my deck more this weekend than anything because this card did nothing against most of the matchups, since you really can't target anything in this format.
Yeah.
But overall, this was a great card. Playing 3 Stake Your Soul is obviously the best card in the deck. You can summon anything from your deck by revealing any name, which everyone should already know. This is a pretty card also. I resolved this card, out of 9 rounds, I resolved this card 7 times. 2 of the times it got ashed, which was fine. I still won the game. 3 Durandal. This is one of the cards that I did not resolve as much, but when I resolved it, it won the game to an extent, because if I opened up both of these, it was basically you had to ash one of them or you lost. I would say moving forward, I would probably cut this card down to 1 or 2 because this card was very much a brick. This is exactly how I lost in day 2, because I opened up this card, and this was my exact hand.
Oh my gosh.
But other than that, this was fine. I played 1 of the book, 1 of the continue, and 1 of the Snow Devil. Moving forward, this is going to probably go to 2. This is going to get cut, or it's going to be this goes to 2 and this stays at 1. But this card was not doing anything all weekend. These cards overperformed. Got the 1 Rhoda, and then for the spice that nobody was playing or looking forward to, Triple D Barrier. I resolved this. Every time I resolved this, my opponent went to game 2. Every time I resolved this in game 2 or game 3, it was basically game. I didn't have to play the game. So I was looking at it like this. If I activated this card and I had a full hand, I did not have to use rock. I did not have to use the trap very often. So if I resolve this in the trap, you have to scoop the game up, because I still have 5 cards in here and you still have 4 to 5 cards in hand, but your 4 to 5 cards do nothing. So against Tyr, this is an auto win. Against the Drytron player I played, he still beat me, but he had to play in the time. When I activated this, he couldn't Natasha me in time. He had to physically play into time and do an alternate route to gain life. So other than that, every matchup I played, including in the mirror match, when I activated this, he couldn't format Zeus me. He ended up losing.
Jeez. And what's the main deck count?
Main deck count is exactly 40.
God, yes.
With the extra deck, yeah, I played 1 Chaos Angel, 1 Borbo, 1 Chakanai, Baguska, Dweller, Typhon, Zeus, and then these were supposed to be a second SP and a Underworld, the Underworld Goddess, but I chose these overall. I didn't use them all weekend, but they were there. 1 Linger Rainbow, just because people are still playing the Cyber's Lock, the SP, the IP, and then the Triple Rock. Triple Rock was excellent. I resolved this combo once. This card came up all weekend, like for everybody. I only resolved it twice. I actually got to do this, and it was really fun. Yeah. I think this card is really good. I think everybody should have a copy of this in the extra deck. This card is very much strong, more than what we were reading. The Zeus package doesn't do as much as it used to, but this card does as much as Zeus when it first came out. But it's a newer card. Everybody's testing it. Chaos Angel was perfect. I got the Baguska somebody once. I did not have to do Dweller to any of my graveyard base decks. I was basically winning those matchups without it. It was very fun. Overall for the extra deck, I wouldn't change much. I would still say changing these 2 just to have more interaction, but it would be fine. And then side deck, which is probably the most generic out of everything, because nobody would expect this card to be in my main deck. The 1 Harpies, which used to be in my main deck, but everybody should understand that this card should always stay in the side deck. If you draw this, it's a brick. I played 3 Droll this weekend. Droll was really strong this weekend. Everybody was drawing cards. The Drytron player, I blew him out game 3 with this as well, making him have to go slower. The 1 Evenly, the 1 Tactics, and the 3 Thrusts. This package was really insane this weekend as well. I got to resolve this once, and it was enough to push me out of a losing state and put me into game 3, which won me the game. I was playing against Rescue Ace, and I made a mistake, and I had these, and I set this from the first thrust. The second thrust, I added this, and I won the game. And I had set up the Borger burn in time. But these were excellent. I didn't expect these cars to be so bad in testing, so I decided to last minute swap these in. And then the power, this is the power forward of the whole deck, dimensional shifter. I almost main decked it, but when I put this card in, most of the time it was a turn pass. In Vanquish Soul, this card is excellent. It's a reveal target. It is great at making your opponent think about what they're going to do moving forward. Against Rescue Ace, it makes it so they can't go turbulence unless they use the emergency, which makes them have to not have the hydrant. So if you open up Shifter Ash, which is really, really like two cards that wouldn't probably be in the same hand, you open up Shifter Ash, they probably turn fast. It's all, these two overperformed by themselves, and overall, probably wouldn't change anything. I didn't see any Pearly matchups. That was what I was looking at because I was going to play Herald of the Abyss for the thrust, but Herald of the Abyss only does but so much, and I wanted to cover all the matchups that were actually a problem. So overall, I did good. Finished X3, X2 at day one, and I had a good time. But come Richmond, I will be coming for the championship. I don't care about any of the pro players telling me that I can't make it because they're really good, you know.
Yes. All right, comment down below, man. Make sure he owns up to that. All right. Well, thanks for the great profile, and until next time, we're out.